So you have to make sure that you peel off any loose paper. You don't want tape and mud over loose paper because you're gonna pay for it in the long run. Um, yeah, so just make sure that you are peeling off any loose paper, any screws that might be sticking out. We're gonna work on taking that butt joint right here real quick. Put it on there however you can, you know. But make sure there's some on there. Not a whole lot, but enough to where it's not dry either. And what's important is that you get as much compound from underneath the tape. The more you get out from underneath the tape, the less of a hump is going to be on top of the drywall. But the key is you don't want to squeeze all the compound out. You want to keep some compound on there. Same thing here. You want to make sure that you're pulling any loose paper off before you tape. Okay, any loose paper off is very important on these butt joints because remember the butt joints. There's no cave or there's no like divot. There's no hole right here like there is on the seams. So the tape and the compound are essentially on top of the drywall. So you want to make sure that when we put the tape on, there's nothing there that's pushing it farther away from the board than necessary, right? You want that tape to be as close as possible, but with enough compound behind the tape where it won't loosen either. So these butt joints are super important because, like I keep on repeating, the tape ends up falling on top of the actual surface. So make sure that you are squeezing as much compound as you can out. But also leaving enough back there where there's enough compound back there to keep the tape stuck onto the wall. Now we're working on the seam. Want to have as much compound as possible on the seam because you're doing a couple things here. One, you're embedding the tape. That's the first thing. And at the same time, while you're at it, you're pre-filling this seam right here where there's a hole right here. So you don't want to put just a little bit just to put tape on there. You want to put enough to where when you squeeze, you're actually spreading and filling this hole in the drywall. So another important key is, I'm trying to, I understand speed and trying to do things fast. I'm a business owner myself, so the faster I go, the more money I make, obviously. But when you're applying this tape, always want to try to keep a smooth surface. Just make it easier to apply the tape. Okay. Back in the day, I used to use a trowel and a hawk. Then I switched over to a trowel and a 6-inch knife in the bucket, called married to the bucket. But my hands, developing carpal tunnel, my hands lost a lot of strength in it. So the hawks were proving more difficult as time went on for me to handle them. So, especially my right hand. So I started using the pan. But with the trowel, you just swipe this and you're done with it, Just before I start squeezing the compound, and just try to smooth it out first. Now squeeze and compound. Now remember, this is the seam. So you don't have to squeeze the compound out of it too much. There's a hole right here where the seam is at. Always keep it clean. Try to keep the boards as clean as possible, so that when you start your next step, you don't have to do too much scraping. Our screws, we like to do them in lines. It just looks nice like that, and it really does create an optical illusion. Helps prevent from seeing them on the finished products. If you got any of these misses, make sure that you're knocking them in, because you don't want them sticking out past the drywall. So, yeah, check you out on the next one. Peace. I keep on running back to you.